Hello there, friends, and welcome back to the series where I'm completing an Animal Crossing island in 30 days. Just in case you're new around here, these are the rules that we've outlined for this island. And with that, let's jump right into day 16 on Edelwood. Alright, now, you guys, we have literally got to get our butts in gear for today's episode. There will be no more dillying, no more dallying, only progress. Molly, are you freaking serious right now? We went through all that effort, brought you to this island, the hard-working members of our community took their time to vote for you to come here, and this is how you repay us? Absolutely unbelievable. Maybe I will leave your house on the beach. But actually, on the note of moving houses, that is why we're here. We've got one house left to move. We're gonna scoot Miss Blair on into the neighborhood. And a couple things I accomplished last night after I took my Switch to bed. I moved a couple of the houses around. Molly is currently on the beach. Sorry, girly. I actually had to scoot Kiki's house over literally 2 tiles because I thought that she fit the spooky yard vibe better than Blair would. Guys, if I could go back and redo the neighborhood, I would. But unfortunately, our rules do not allow for us to go back and change the neighborhood, so we're just gonna have to make do with what we've got, and I think out of our 2 girlies, Kiki fits the spooky vibes just a little bit better. It's also kind of appropriate because now Kiki's house will be directly next to the post office, you know, running with our Kiki's delivery service kind of little theme we have for that post office build, whenever we eventually get to it. Maybe, hopefully. I'm starting to become less and less optimistic as the days go by, guys. We've got a lot to do. So it is a move-out bubble. Interesting. We're going to ignore how rude Molly is being right now, and go ahead and move Blair's house here before we dive into our actual build today. Deirdre, please, I don't want to crush you with a house. Please, don't make me do this. And we do have to go back and we will replace the... Oh boy, I can't walk through that. And we will have to go back and replace like these little welcome mat codes and stuff that we had by the doors. Just because whenever you move the houses and stuff, it gets rid of the codes that were right there in that little spot. So we'll just replace those. I gotta put some decorations back that it moved as we placed them, but we'll do that eventually, okay? We're gonna fix it. We'll put it back exactly the way it was, so we're not changing the build. Oh, and a couple other things I did last night. I did manage to make it through... Gosh, I don't know how many of those Happy Home Paradise houses I actually made it through, but it was a very repetitive process. Like, I thought talking to the birds at the airport was a repetitive process. Oh my gosh, is speedrunning the Happy Home DLC a tedious, repetitive process. Repetious. No, I think that word gets the job done. So I made it through, like, probably a good quarter of that progress. Most importantly, I named the school Skoo. Because I thought that that was hilarious. You know, we're not putting in maximum effort, we're just putting in the bare minimum. So, Skoo. I thought that was really funny, but that might be just because I was doing that at like 10 p.m. Aside from that, I have time traveled just a little bit. We'll have to go a couple more days forward, but I ran out of apple trees. You want more fruit trees, Isabel? I'll give you more fruit trees. But with that, let's go ahead and time travel forward a few days, grow in the rest of our apple trees to fill in our orchard, and go ahead and get started with today's build. And oh my gosh, guys, seeing these pretty, like, darker reddish orange tree colors like we're getting later in November now that we're time traveling, I think that our dream address might be getting set sometime in November rather than October. Oh my gosh, like, look at how pretty! Look at how pretty these freaking trees are, guys. Oh, totally gonna be in November. But with that, let's go ahead and jump right into the speed build. First things first, we're gonna have to take some time and move all of these trees from back here where I gave them space to grow up to our actual orchard spot. So we'll go ahead and get that started. But yeah, as we're getting started on moving these trees back and forth up to the actual front part of the orchard, you guys can probably see back behind me that I have flattened a good portion of our island here. I decided that I wanted the orchard and the farm to both be on the first level of the island. I don't really know why, something about it just felt right, and I decided to roll with it. So I haven't decided yet though if I want the lake and like the forest to be up on the second level, kind of even with where the shopping district is, or if I want it to be on the first level. Ooh, actually, you know what? That actually gives me a really good idea. What if we leave the lake view and stuff on the first level, and then we can, I saw this picture on Pinterest whenever I was inspiration gathering for the island, but what if we use like an area along the back of the shopping district to serve as like a lookout kind of point, so that way you can get this big view of the lake before you're actually down there exploring it? Oh my gosh, that could be so cool. Okay, I think that that's definitely what we'll end up doing whenever we eventually make it to finally working on the lake area, that is. I'm trying something a little different with this video, so you guys remember how I said we might be trying some more slower paced speed builds and such in the future? This is kind of my first step in that direction. I'm getting some practice with voicing over while I'm doing the actual build, because normally what I do is I record all the footage and then I speed it up and get it all ready to go from the editing side, and I don't do the voiceover until after the build is already done and I've got all my footage sped up and ready to go. But I'm actually practicing with doing my voiceover while I'm working on this build. So yeah, for once it's kind of like a little bit of insider knowledge, but I'm recording this voiceover as we work on the build, which is kind of cool. Sometimes I do make it obvious in my speed build voiceovers that I know what the outcome of the build is going to be, and for once, I don't. So we get to kind of go on that journey together. Alright, and now we've finally finished up with the actual tree part of the orchard, and we kind of get to move on to the more fun part, in my opinion, which is the decorating of all the little spaces, starting with the pathing. And we actually ended up having enough trees left over from our little supply that I had kind of gotten ready prior to this that we'll be able to use those as kind of like little accent trees around the farm as a whole. And I think it'll do us really good to have a couple apple trees around the farm because, like, I don't know, I feel like real farms would have like apple trees in different areas, you know, not just in their specific orchard, but like maybe have some up by the house or just kind of around the farm in general. Alright guys, this is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. You guys will just have to trust the process on this one. It's gonna look really good. This is gonna look so good at night whenever you walk through it. Gosh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Also, yes, I just want to let you guys know I am officially back from my trip out of town. It was very fun. I had a great time visiting with my family and getting to hang out with everyone, but it feels very good to be back, and even more than that, it feels really good to be like 1 or 2 days ahead of you guys, which feels crazy to say because I feel like I should be stressed. There is a little part of me that looks at the fact that I only have 2 days prepped ahead of when I'm recording this one, and I'm like, I'm so used to being very over prepared and like being way ahead of schedule. Even when I was in college and stuff, like I would pride myself on working days ahead of where our class technically had to be, even if it really stressed me out, which probably explains a lot about me. This is exactly why I do my voiceovers after the fact. But I'm bringing you guys along with the chaos today, so we have reached a point where I genuinely don't really know what to do. Like, we have this big farm area. I think I'm gonna need to make a quick run to a treasure island because we're going to need wheat fields, store side outlines, whatever those things are called, stalls, stuff for the apple orchard, and the cider area. Yeah, I'll be right back. I am convinced that this is the universe reinforcing to me why I don't do my voiceovers while I'm also doing the build. You want to know why? Because the treasure island I subscribe to has all of their islands currently down. So that's great, which essentially means this build is on pause. I am very genuinely unsure how to proceed. I'm sure that there's some lesson in here about how, like, oh, this is why you don't cheat, this is why you don't use treasure islands, and I'm choosing to ignore those messages. Well, I've still got stuff left to do on the island, so I guess we'll just do some more stuff together? Today has been a real shit show of an episode, and I apologize for that. I feel like my life as a whole is kind of a shit show at the moment. This is fun. On the list of things left to do for the island, you know what? We do need to plan out the shopping district. Maybe we'll work on that. Maybe this is my sign to work on that today. We're already kind of doing an informal speed build sort of thing. Let's just roll with it. Let's just do it. Hi there, Bones. You know what? Maybe it's not so bad after all. Okay. Let me get the dimensions for the shop and the Able sisters real quick, and I'll be right back. All right. Really, I guess we kind of first have to decide where our walkways are going to be. So, I have a little walkway that comes up this way. I'm thinking because we have this little awkward space over here that I'll probably really just cut it off. Somewhere around here will be where it drops down and we have our lake view back that way. This little awkward space over here, I think will probably be my house and like the bookstore kind of area. So let's go ahead and mark that somehow so I don't forget. I'll just throw my eyebrows on the ground. That makes sense, right? Okay, so we'll continue up the walkway a little ways, preferably far enough away from resident services. And how much room are we working with on the back of the island from here? Oh, okay, we've still got freaking plenty of room. Honestly, we've probably got until about here where I'll have the view. So we have a little bit more room to work with than I originally thought. But let's go this way, and then probably just kind of start cutting over this direction. Gosh, I don't know. Because, like, let's see. I kind of want to have the Able sisters and Nook's Cranny be, like, the main focus of the shops, and then we'll have the other ones kind of on the outside. So maybe our walkway should look... No, I feel like this still looks about right. Maybe down one. We'll kind of have it shift down this way. Okay, okay. This gives us plenty of room to work with. I don't really know what I'll do in front here of all the shops. I'm gonna play around a little bit with some pathing layout options and such, and I will fill you guys in once we have an actual solid idea of what our layout's gonna look like up here. All right, it has been a few hours, and I am back. Is that a freaking... Hold on. Hold the phone. That's a double rainbow in the background. It is so faint. Like, you can barely see it. But yeah, double rainbow. That's cool, I guess. What's even cooler is that I finished up playing around with the pathway here, and I decided that for the shopping district, I've always seen people do these beautiful shop like layouts and stuff with the double bridges. Freaking love it. So that's what we're going with for the shopping district. And I've already moved Nook's Cranny on this side. I'm not gonna do much more. I'm gonna move some of these buildings off camera after I wrap this episode up here. But as far as layout goes, I'd like Nook's Cranny and then Shep's house to go here so that way we can have a little record store area. I'll have like a couple little shop decorations on the side by Nook's Cranny here. And then I'll have a little boardwalk pathway that comes over here so you can have a cool overlook of the lake and like the forest area down this way. I'll set up some cute custom code like clothing and things and some little sewing areas here by the Able sisters. And then we'll have the cafe for Miss Olive right here next to the bookstore, which will be my house. So yeah. Overall, I mean, I kind of wish we'd been able to get more done in today's episode, but alas, it is what it is with Treasure Islands being down. I can't really help that. And to be totally honest, I've been working on Animal Crossing for like 4 hours today, and I kind of need a little bit of a break. So unfortunately, this is where we're going to have to call it for today's episode. I will do a little bit of work with Happy Home Paradise and things, and honestly, probably some more terraforming this evening. And I'll catch you guys up to speed tomorrow, where hopefully we can kind of start doing some more work on these areas, you know? But in any case, thank you for watching this chaotic mess of an episode today. Hopefully this is at least kind of entertaining. If nothing else, you get to watch me spiral, so that's fun. This is a great way to start the second half of this challenge, because it's not like I'm freaking out already that we don't have enough time to do things, right? But anyways, if you enjoyed this mess, you'll certainly enjoy the rest of the series, so you can check that out down at the playlist link below. And with that, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz on your way out, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Bye! Cue that SpongeBob meme of Plankton being like, well, I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far.